Nice finish while his opponent missed.
Yeah, and that stemmed from the poor setup play on the 1-4-2 from Gerwyn Price. Went down for a couple of treble 17s, went wayward, only leaving 95, and it let Joe Cullen off the hook in that opening leg. But Cullen, who was unlucky last week, he trailed Michael Van Gerwen 5-2, forced the decider, but Van Gerwen ran away with the deciding leg. But Cullen looking to head to his fourth final. He's won one of them, and that is in the Cauldron in Rotterdam against Michael Van Gerwen.
Yeah, good win that away from home, wasn't it? He was the beneficiary of a bye-through tonight with James Wade absent through illness, and he was the beneficiary of similar when he was due to play Price earlier on in the campaign, wasn't he, when Price had to pull out.
99.
So he's had a couple of byes, Joe Cullen, so far, but you've got to make the most of it. He's had a couple of wins over Gerwyn Price in the Premier League this year. Price has beaten Cullen once in the PDL, as Sid Waddell used to call it, this year in 2022, as he piles in a maximum to leave 82 after a dozen darts in the second leg of this semi-final contest.
Joe Cullen's almost equalled my points total in the Premier League with byes, Rod. Some people get the luck, don't they?
Make your own luck, Mark.
Very true, very true.
Price makes his on double 16, levels the match, one apiece.
Started the better Gerwyn Price. Big golf in the averages, but it is two legs in and both on throw. Price a lot more clinical there at the back end, made a mess of the opening leg. But Rod, when we saw Gerwyn Price hit those 2-9 darts in Belfast, and he was just in top form that weekend, did we think in week 3 we wouldn't see him in a final again in the Premier League?
No, it was a night of nights, wasn't it, for the Welshman? It really was. 2 9 darts in the same night, a 170 as well earlier on in the evening. It really was.
99.
And it was just one of those nights where everything worked out. The 177s were coming off, obviously the 180s, but from there, not been a great deal to shout about for Gerwyn Price.
Well, then the hand problem sort of came into play, didn't it? And he started to struggle with that, and things started to unravel a little bit, but he can still get it back on track.
180.
Did win the opening Euro Tour of the year, though, and he's won a Pro Tour as well, so
177.
great switching from Joe Cullen.
$94. Joe, you acquire 36.
Double 18 again for Joe Cullen. Double 9 then. The switch right across the dartboard.
Big moment for Joe Cullen. Big darts from Joe Cullen. Reminder, Joe Cullen wins this game. He moves to within 2 points of Peter Wright, and there's 2 more points on the offing in the final. Long way to go yet. Gerwyn Price would move to within 4. If he wins tonight, would move to within 2. Michael Smith is in the mix now. So all of a sudden, that 4th spot
77.
is not looking as comfortable for Peter Wright. Because even though he's been out of form, it's still looked pretty comfortable the last few weeks, Rod, hasn't it?
Yeah, but he just hasn't got results, Peter, has he? And really, he's invited everybody back into it by not winning matches himself. I think that's 3 quarterfinals he's lost running, isn't it, now, after tonight's hiding by Michael Van Gerwen. So if he's not scoring himself, he's inviting the players just behind him, of which these are 2, Cullen and Price, to breathe down his neck, and that's exactly what he's got.
190.
We have one more round of fixtures in the O2 next week, and the week after Newcastle, it goes on league order. So 1 will play 8. So whoever finished, as it stands, Johnny Clayton play Gary Anderson. But imagine a Peter Wright be Joe Cullen or Gerwyn Price, Michael Smith in that 4th versus 5th. There'll be some serious pressure on that match.
Joe, you acquire 144.
It's Wade versus Wright in the first round at the O2 in London. But you make a good point, Mark. I think for most of this Premier League season, the players have just turned up trying to win a mini knockout every night. But now I think they are looking at the table and realising what's going on as Price levels, and he loves it. I think they're now more aware, aren't they, as it gets right to the business end of what the table is and what the connotations of each result they achieve in the night are, as opposed to before the season when they were just trying to win a tournament each night.
Yeah, definitely. And this stage of the season, it's, you know, these 2 players in particular, they've lost the luxury of points tot, and they lost it quite a while ago, didn't they? A couple of weeks ago. It's about winning and winning the nights. And
96.
one of these is going to a final, that is guaranteed. And if Michael Smith can beat Michael van Gerwen, it could be a pivotal night here in Sheffield.
93.
Price now ranked the world number 2. Not so long ago he was world number 1, but that title was taken from him by Peter Wright, along with the world title.
He throws that dart away. Gerwyn Price.
147.
Feeling's giving up this leg, and Joe Cullen to get to the halfway stage. That's careless. We saw Gerwyn Price do that early from 1-4-2. The setup wasn't great, and that was a bit of a shocker for Joe Cullen.
And that bounce out could be significant, because even the single 19 to go with the treble of the other single would have left him handy, wouldn't it? Well, that's on a finish in any regard. 170 in point of fact.
Sensible play from Joe Cullen as well. No need to bring tops into play. Knowing that his opponent's not on a finish, there's always the risk you can go out the board. Then you come back and you're splitting 60.
Tops then for Joe Cullen to take the lead for the 3rd time in this darts match. Double 10, last dart in hand.
20.
A wire wobbler with the darts 2 and 3. Can Price change the pattern of the match? He can if he can hit double top. Beautiful finishing from the Iceman. Ice cool from the Welshman.
Joe Cullen shakes his head. 3 missed for a 3-2 lead. No emotion from Price. Is he about to make only a 2nd final? He's got the first break.
96.
He needed a breaker throw. He's against the darts, and there we see. That's the key. Those 3 from 4, but particularly that 111.
99. $139.
So Gerwyn Price, the average, almost 10 points better than Joe Cullen. And we'll keep scrapping.
140.
He enjoyed a 1-1-3 outshot in his victory over Gary Anderson, Gerwyn Price. We've just seen him file a 1-1-1 in the ledger there in the 5th leg of this match to take the lead against Joe Cullen and assume command of the contest. He knows now if he can hold throw 3 times, he'll win the match.
Both those shots as well would have been at key moments. That 111 was the break when Joe was on the double, and the 113 was to stop a run from Gary Anderson.
59.
Gerwyn led 3-2 in that match, but Anderson came back at him, but the 113 just allowed Gerwyn Price to regain control of his quarter-final, and he's got control of his semi-final now.
60. Gerwyn, you acquire 128.
We've seen these best of 11 seesaw all season in the Premier League. Can Price take a 2-leg lead on double 10?
180.
Well, he should be back. He'll expect to be back, but Cullen here could pile in 2 treble 20s followed by the double.
Good catch, Joe.
Yeah, a bit of the Madders Rasmus style juggling. We saw that in the middle of a 9-dart finish from the Latvian.
Gerwyn, you acquire 10.
Yeah, magical stuff. Now then. Double 2 for the Welshman. It's important, it's crucial. And he hits it. And that's clear daylight between the 2 Aerosmiths now. Price 2 legs clear at 4-2.
And them shots hurt because Joe Cullen would have fancied having a shot there.
80.
And all of a sudden, Gerwyn Price has put some daylight between the 2. They met in a semi-final in Liverpool. Gerwyn Price raced into a 5-2 lead in that match, and Cullen turned it round when he reached the final, lost out to Johnny Clayton. But he's going to have to go some here because Gerwyn Price looks in the mood.
Yeah, we spoke earlier, Mark, didn't we, about Michael van Gerwen getting his swagger back, but no one swaggers quite like Gerwyn Price. And he really is starting to strut a little bit now, isn't he?
140.
And he was very close to setting up a 9-dart bid there.
It's as relaxed as we've seen Gerwyn Price for a while in the Premier League. It's all looked edgy, it's all looked jerky, and he's picked up the odd win here and there, but he'd have recognised this was a good chance.
89.
They'll have been boosted by James Wade not being here, wouldn't they? A player that, the way James has been playing, he's so consistent
99.
in the Premier League the last 6-7 weeks.
92.
Might give them a big opportunity.
using the safety net of the bullseye on 92. And he'll have to go back hunting it again here after 25-17. He did well to hit that from there, to be honest. It was masked.
Joey require 100.
Did that earlier on though, Rob. Missed the ball and left the 14 and tied up the 36. Will he get a chance this time? He may not. This is just for a hold though. Big dive from Cullen. And there's the response. This match is still alive. A shake of the head from Gerwyn Price. We saw the 1-2-8 from Gary Anderson against Gerwyn earlier. Joe Cullen gives a 1-2-4 there, we see. Look at that. And still only the one breaker throw separates the two.
Yeah, absolutely epic Aerosmithery from Joe Cullen. Brilliant full hitting from the Bradfordian. Closes to within the solitary leg again here in this match, in this race to 6. Very much game on again here.
The Bradfordian, I like that. I like the emotion from Joe Cullen. Still delicately poised. One breaker throw is even more delicate when you're against the darts.
96.
Has to find a break here though, Joe Cullen. He's got to produce something spectacular or rely on Price dropping right off, and no sign of that happening just at this moment in time.
Gerwyn Price in his first match. Gary Anderson came back at him, but he just reasserted himself, and he's trying to do the same here.
103. Gerwyn, you require 72.
Plenty of time to get himself 5-3. Doesn't need time. Brilliant leg from Gerwyn Price. One away from what would only be a second final 11 weeks after his first one.
Yeah, that
92.
final and that victory in Belfast was all glitz and glamour, wasn't it? This has been more graft, hasn't it, for Gerwyn? He's had to work very hard, both to see off Gary Anderson in the quarterfinal and to see off Joe Cullen if indeed he does so in this semi-final. Still got to find another leg.
60.
Gerwyn Price would go within 1 point of Joe Cullen in 5th spot, but with the scope to win 2 more as well.
140.
Price kicks off proceedings in London next week against Johnny Clayton with the darts as well on the first match, so that effectively makes you the number 1 seed on the evening, but Michael Smith and Michael Van Geuren in that half as well, so it's going to be tough. But if he goes there with a win here in Sheffield, he'll go there confident.
Tough game that, but in the sporting cliche for virtually every sport, no easy games at this level.
180.
As Price pummels in a 4th maximum in this match to lead one of his favourite doubles in double 12, and he's going to have 3 in hand at it, Mark, to wrap up
59.
a victory by 6 legs to 3.
Price has been the better player, and Price is into his only 2nd final.